You just mentioned the issue of Ryukyu. Actually, there have been some discussions on the sovereignty of Ryukyu on the internet recently, because from the Ming Dynasty to the Qing Dynasty, Ryukyu and China have established a 500-year Sino-Japanese relationship. And after World War II, the United States also administered Ryukyu for 27 years. So the people of Ryukyu still face a long-standing and enormous pressure, which is the issue of U.S. military bases. So, in fact, the fate of Ryukyu is also an important microcosm of our political game in Northeast Asia. So I would like to ask Teacher Liu, what is your opinion on the sovereignty issue of Ryukyu? Have these issues been discussed domestically in Japan?
In 1972, the US and Japan set an agreement to transfer jurisdiction over Ryukyu to Japan. But what really matters are two key words. It is jurisdiction. Instead, sovereignty has been returned to Japan. That is to say, Japan still remains its control towards Ryukyu as before World War II. Because you mentioned earlier that before Japan invaded Ryukyu, it was actually an independent kingdom. Ryukyu's dynasties regularly paid tribute to Beijing in history. It was actually an independent kingdom under a relatively large vassal's relationship with China. And its relationship with China was maintained very well and stably. Of course, up until now, I have personally visited a larger style island in Ryukyu, and we have found that there are indeed some political forces, as well as some locals, to have different ideas about being under Japanese rule. Therefore, over the years, they still have some independent thinking. That is, to break away from Japan and restore their previous dynasty. But this thought only among the general public. And of course, because of this diplomatic storm between China and Japan, I also noticed that the Chinese mainland government emphasized the relationship between China and Ryukyu. Of course, this is a problem that has not been completely solved in Northeast Asia.